I think we're good. Let's get some audio there. Guys, wow, what a way to return with technical glitches right off the back. But hey, this is the BCTV podcast. What the hell do you expect, right? So, and if we ain't fucking up, then, you know, it ain't home. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. We are on episode 8 of the BCTV podcast. This is our return from a 6-week hiatus. I've got my special guest here, Draco655. Along with my lovely co-host, Chard Monk, on the screen here with us. How are you guys doing today?
Great. It's been a long trek through Final Fantasy X, and I achieved things this weekend I didn't think I was going to, so I'm in a very good mood today.
Awesome, dude. And I just happened to badge Chrono Trigger just like a few
yeah.
minutes ago. It was great,
Yeah.
man. It
I
was
just saw it from my eyes. Congrats again.
Yeah, you were here.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
Draco was here. And I had Draco here for it, man. I feel so special. Guys, we have a special episode for you today. We got Draco655 he's a cool guy. He's a sweetheart. He is host of the RA podcast. He also is one of the top retro achievement earners. He's at the number 11 spot of the whole freaking site. He is a Chivo getting machine. He is my friend. Welcome to the stream, Draco655. How are you doing, my friend?
Thank you, Bud Cave. It's a pleasure to be here with two people, wonderful people to have talking to my own podcast. It's wonderful to see you both again. Thank you for
Absolutely.
having me.
Yeah, great to have you here. Great to have you here. So I guess we'll go ahead.
Number 11.
Yeah, it's
How-
not enough. It's not.
How
enough.
do you do it? You've got a breeze going on in the background
I
there,
know.
bud.
I could fix it.
Number
I don't know
11,
how
man. That's insane.
Check out my
I don't
khakis.
know. Honestly, I don't know how I do it because some week I feel I don't want to say the word lazy, but some week I feel so lazy to doing point. And every time I see some game, I'm just intrigued to play like SMW Pokemon. I just jump on them and I
Right.
just go for it.
Does
so
there
good.
something about a game that catches your eye, or do you kind of think, oh, I want to play this in the future, or is it more of kind of like, you just jump on something that looks good to you, just on a feeling?
Sometimes it's just about feeling, like I said, like Mario Pokemon, or sometimes I just go by is it good point value, and sometimes is it good like time consuming. If I spend like example your Chrono Trigger is like I don't know how much time on your badge you got.
It took me 3-4 weekends worth of streams, so it was a while. Yeah,
Well, let's
Yeah,
say like a 40
something like that.
hours kind of.
I would say
40.
40 would be probably in the neighborhood. Yeah,
So yeah, so 40
Maybe
hours
more.
for me it's too much long for maybe just one game. So RPG is maybe not the type for me. Everything with platforming,
yeah.
pinball, everything like it's just quick. And you have to get those.
Yeah, because when you're trying to climb the leaderboard like that, you're going to need something where you can beat it in a single sitting, and possibly even badge it in no more than maybe a couple of streams. I would probably be pushing it for you.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, like I said, sometime I mean, like right now because I'm just pushing a little bit for point instead of badging. I put maybe like the badge aside for a bit, and gonna come back later on with some project for some future games I really want to finish. And some game I just know by myself I would probably never like beat or master a pinball game because those games need a lot of skills, and I don't have those skills enough to do it myself. I could
Right.
practice more, but they're pretty damn hard for me.
Right.
So sometimes just like go in, take what I can do, and then just get out. And
Yeah.
I mean, if I can do like 150 to 180% range, I would be very happy with the set.
Awesome.
So-
Awesome. Okay. So there's a lot of. I'm sorry, Char. You were gonna.
No, I was just commenting on how Bud and I are very we aren't chasing leaderboards or points or anything crazy like that. We just want to say that we 200%ed like our favorite RPGs or games or whatever.
Right.
And I never think of points is what you need. That's how you climb the leaderboard is by having more points
That's
than the next
just
person.
what you need. Yeah.
Right.
But I never think of it that way. I always think of as completionist, like I want to do everything.
Yeah.
So hearing it from a point of view of we're chasing points and not badges,
Yeah.
it's interesting. So I'm interested to hear
Yeah.
more about how that works and
Yeah,
how,
the
how that
strategy.
all pans out.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you play like a game, like let's say like for me, Mega Man or Zelda game are not my type of game. If I just maybe like go for 100% of that and I gain some skills, that's something I gain. Maybe like I put the set aside and maybe I gain more skill and then I come back to it. Maybe I badge it in the future. So at some point, if you're going for, I want to try to do every single set in RA, which could be a very massive goal, but it need to be a start at somewhere. So if I can get a certain amount, it's like, okay, it's fine. I can just move on with that.
Interesting. So you're using playing games to gain skills to translate into other games, and you're strategizing with the certain achievements versus like what the point Chard was making, the way we play it, where it's more of a nostalgia thing. We love this game. I just want to do everything in it just for the simple fact I can say that I did. But you really just strategized certain achievements to get on certain games to really push you up that leaderboard.
Yes. I mean, like a good example, I would say like Mario games, like the Kaizo. Like at the start, I never like really played Kaizo game at all. And I just tried it like maybe one set, but I have already like some skills into the vanilla ones. So I put those skills into Kaizo, and then Kaizo evolved to get other games in general to Kaizo. And with that, I have multiple skills, and then I can translate it to other game if I want to. Like Castlevania would be a good example. Oh, yes. I really want to push for that, but I know I'm not the type of person who is very good. But if I keep pushing a little bit and try to learn, I think I can get there eventually. Like you, both of you, pretty good at Castlevania.
Yeah, just making those incremental improvements. Yeah, I love the Castlevania.
That's a great thought process to be like, I'm going to take this game, take the skills I can from this, and apply it to this game so I can get the most points out of it. That's brilliant. I just beat my head against a wall.
Yeah,
and just hope I can get it done. Yeah. That's very calculated, and I think that's the kind of I love getting inside the RA mind. I think that's really cool.
That's like I think I got like Mario Party 3 sitting there for a while. I cannot beat the last button into the time limit, but I just cannot. One time I would get it. I really like. I said to myself, if I get to the top 10, and I have a little lead, I'm gonna try to push like both of you, to try to get the badge because I really want it. Mm-hmm. But I just cannot get the time done. So.
Well, right now your focus is climbing that leaderboard. Do you have any kind of because you're aiming for that? I know you've been aiming for that number 10 spot pretty hard here lately. Do you have any kind of incentive you're giving yourself? Like, if I make this number 10 spot, I'm going to celebrate in some way. I'm going to have, I don't know, an awesome steak dinner, or I'm going to, buy my favorite beverage, or, throw some kind of celebration, or?
I really was thinking about celebration. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet because I don't know. But I think the first thing I would do is almost crying.
Okay.
Because like it's been like 2.5 years chasing that goal constantly, and every day is like, okay, it's like what point got lower, what point got higher, and it's like every time you push the button, sometimes you can lose some points. And
right.
Like when me and Max play a lot of games, well, that's a real factor. So every time I push it, like I think I play like for 2 or 3 days, I play for 1.4k point, which for me it's quite a bit for 2-3 days of working. Mm-hmm. Plus, like you work as a normal person in a job,
mm-hmm.
And then you raise when you push the button because you just didn't want to do the achievements. Kind of, you just lose the entire of 3 days of working done. So
yeah, that's rough. Yeah, you really got to think about it. Then, do you ever look at since you're you're gunning for those, that top 10 and that eventually that number 1 spot? Are you watching the people that you're competing with? What games they select? Does that influence your game selection in any way, or what maybe certain chivos you go for in a game?
I constantly watch like other people do. I mean, like for sure, I watch like Max, Sarkanius, Veritasu like very closely. I have even Cochise, which I was like fighting with him at some point. I'm watching what they do, but most of them I would never copy those games of what they do because it depends. Like they don't like. I know like Sark and Max, they don't have the same play style as I do.
Correct.
But if I see something appeal to me from what they play, I'm gonna maybe try it and see what I can get from there.
Interesting. Okay. Awesome. Very cool.
So do you as a person climbing the ladder, do you create rivalries like within yourself to be like, because Max was always talking about his rivalries to get to number 1 and how, he would always challenge at the time before he got number 1. He would challenge, I forget the gentleman that was Fernando, I think it was.
Yeah, I think that's.
And he would make, that's my target. He's my target. I'm going for it. Do you focus on like the person in front of you and then like kind of like attack, like not an attack, but as a sense of I'm going to get more points than this guy today, or how do you strategize like that climb up the ladder? Like, what kind of obstacles do you try and jump over to get to where you are today?
It's a hard question because like I mean it's very hard. I
Maybe
mean
you're-
like for me like everybody is a rival, but I know I'm gonna get them eventually. Like for me it's like what my friends are like. I know you're gonna be top one. Doesn't matter if it take 10 years, 3 years, doesn't matter. You're gonna get top one, and those people ahead of you they're just gonna give up. So for me, it's like okay, I just take my own pace, play what I like. Someday I feel playing more. Someday I just play less. I got some 6K, 5K a week. Sometimes I just play three. So for me, 3K average per week per point is pretty good. So I just need to maintain that pretty much.
So it seems like
Okay.
with you, it's more about the strategizing your plan for moving forward, what you're going to do to maximize your point output or output. Not so much as focusing on what other people are doing, but more along the lines of just kind of chipping away at it by maximizing your point output and just going for it,
Because,
slow and
like,
steady.
The more you play, like the real fact is, I think like the more you play, the more you can feel burnout in some way. If you play too much too fast, you can burn out yourself and be rather discouraged to play, or you don't play for weeks. So yeah, I think it's very not the strategy goal. If you go slow and steady, I think that's at your pace, you're gonna have way more fun. So sometimes you play what you feel it's fun for you, and
Yeah.
sometimes if it's not fun, you just. I mean, sometimes you do, but you need to enjoy what you do.
Right.
And I know for my own views, at one point, Veritasu or Mike the Fighters or Sarconius or anybody, they're gonna slow down. And when they're gonna slow down, this is where the snake comes in and just bite at them and you just climb up.
Yeah.
This is pretty much. I mean,
Because they'll have slower days and they may become complacent and maybe not work on it so hard. Because I've even heard Max in interviews even say that he's like, I'm even looking forward to the day that somebody displaces me. I'm just kind of holding on. I'm kind of doing my thing. And I don't want to say he's apathetic about having the number one spot because I don't think that's true. But I think he's more of, I've kind of been here a while. I've kind of had the glory. And, if somebody else takes over, then, that's okay with me. I'm not trying to speak for him, but that's kind of the impression I get.
Yeah,
he's still hitting it hard.
Oh, he's still hitting it hard. I'm not saying he's not hitting it hard. I'm just saying he's like, yeah.
Like for me, like Sark and Max are incredible players. I mean, I don't know how they can just play something and they just badge it. Like constantly, like they play everything they want. Never player, never heard. They just play it. They just master it in a couple of days and that's done.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it's like I'm very skillful in many games. Like GameCube would be pretty much my generation or my skillful a lot for a lot of those games. I can't wait to see what Sark and Max would do into GameCube. But I mean, it's just amazing how they just going so far and they're just so good at those.
Yeah. Sark is a freaking machine. I don't know. He just puts a game on and he's like, well, we're badged it. Let's move on to the next thing. You're like,
on to the next one.
You've been on for 30 minutes, man. What do you mean you just badged it? You just started.
And there's never any question.
Insane.
It's always, I'm going to badge it. Never any doubt about it.
But I think like what I learned the most is it's not like how much you climb. I think it's all the influence or the friend you made. Because maybe like high rank, but at the end, like it just for me, I just do it for me because I'm used to get into the top like I was getting some roller in the past, but like I'm used to get into the top and I just want to get known by it like that. But I prefer to see like both of you like having a good conversation and making friends along the way because that's like it's just so amazing to just talk with other people just than do that alone.
Yeah, there's a lot of camaraderie in this community, and we talk about these rivalries, of course, but they're all friendly, and we all go into and hang out in each other's streams, and we kind of razz each other a little bit, but that's part of the fun of it. But the community surrounding, retro gaming in general, but even more specifically retro achievements has just really been amazing. And yeah, I love seeing you guys growing. I love watching you going to gun for that top spot. I'm sitting here like, this dude is really putting in the work, and he's got the heart for it, and he is just gunning for it. And it's, everybody loves to see something like that, and it's really impressive to watch.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah. Watching people focus, and like you said, doing it your pace. You're not killing yourself and burning yourself out. You are slow and steady wins the race. I mean, that's the line, right? That's the phrase.
Yeah.
And you're still having a good time doing it, and you're still accomplishing all this stuff, and it's fun. It's fun to watch the cream rise to the top, as it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because
Um,
I have played like a lot of games and I never enjoyed them a lot. And I was like, why I'm doing this? Like I'm not even trying to master the game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just doing this for point for like at some point you need to have fun. And but
Right.
of course, the more you play games, the more or less you have. So like sometimes I just want to say, oh my god, I'm so jealous you playing like Mario Kart, or you playing like Chrome Triggers, or I badge it. Let's say I badge it. But like you play those games, I really want to play those games. Like, but you cannot because you already done it. So.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. You have those goals, and yeah, once you've mastered them and you've got all the points, then you have to work with what's going to give you the points. Yeah. Absolutely.
what's your favorite game? That's my dog, by the way. What is your favorite game that you've played recently that you badged, that you might have went in going, or not badged, but got the most points for, that you ended up being like, this isn't going to be, I'm just going to get the points and get out of here. And then it turned out to be like, oh my gosh, this game is really cool. Did you have one of those that you've done recently?
I got many of those. Actually, the first one or two, I would say like two. The first one was Toy Story Racer. I think it was a PlayStation 1 game. I never played like Toy Story Racing at all. And I know it was quite a bit of point value. So I was like, oh, why not? Racing game, it's me, let's try it. And the more I played, the more I enjoy it. I was like, wow, this is very fantastic. And the other one I think I played was Pokemon Dreams, actually. It's a hack Pokemon games. And normally hack is like, they're never good. But this one, it was fantastic and phenomenal. And the point value is there. But I did not finish it yet, which is something I have to do. But the set is just wonderful. The game is wonderful. The music was very good. And they even take like, I don't know if you play like Pokemon Colosseum on GameCube. But those music was.
I've seen it done. I haven't done it myself, but I've watched the Colosseum.
Because like those music was into that game. I was like, oh my god, you just got me from my feelings. I was like, point and good games. Like, oh my, come on, it's so good.
So yeah, you really enjoyed it. Awesome, very awesome, very awesome. So how did you get? How did you get into doing retro achievements to begin with? I mean, what was your initial introduction to that?
So that's a long story, actually. I started maybe like, let's go back into 2017.
Okay.
17. Pretty much I was doing some Mario Kart 8, competitive Mario Kart 8. I was playing for some Team Canada Worlds. So basically, if people don't know what it is, it's pretty much you take, it's Clan Wars, what they call it. So you take, normally Mario Kart can play 12 players, and you take 6-person versus 6-person, and you try to team up each other's and to trying to get the most point, and then you win. So that's how you play very competitive Mario Kart. And then after that, I choose the same game, which is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with my Switch, and then I was doing some wall records. So I get like a lot of wall records. I end up with like 40 wall records into 200 and 150 combined each other's. That was crazy. And then one day I realized like I was pretty much sad with my life. I was like actually trying to fight with myself with no competition at all, because I was pretty much the only one who was just stealing wall record to anybody. So nobody actually attacked me. And then I was just feeling alone. So my girlfriend said like, why you don't play Retro Achievement? I was like, what? Are you kidding? How do you know that? I mean, I don't know. I don't know how she heard of that.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's an interesting. I wasn't expecting that. Go ahead.
And then she showed me the website. I was like, okay, it's fine. And then I was like, no, I'm not interested in that. I was just ignoring her. I was like, no, I don't want to do that. And then I secretly downloaded the emulators. And I download up the Mario Kart 64 because I'm a fan of racing game. And I saw my first pop up with the mushroom cups. I was like, I was like that. And then
that little dopamine.
There you go. I was just amazed. I was like, wait, what? You have that? And that set was made by Engine, which is one of my friends today. Okay. So that was a great friend to have in mind. And yeah, I mean, since that day, I was like, wow, this is incredible. I just love that. And then my goal is, since I got some wall records, so I'm used to get first place in some way. I said like, I have to get the top 3 at some point. I have to. I cannot give up until I have it. So
and you just got that determination.
That's awesome. I love the idea that Draco, who's big in the RA circuit, and we know him very well for
Yeah.
the RA stuff he does. Even him, when it was suggested to him, even him
Yeah.
said, "Nah, I don't want to do that."
I know.
Yeah,
That's kind of how we all get started, isn't it?
Yeah, it makes me feel good because I was like, "Nah, I don't want to do that."
To be
Here
honest,
we are.
my views was just like speedrunning.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I want to play that speedrunning. I want to play Mario Party speedrunning. I just wanted to speedrun the damn game.
Yeah.
And then I never like have like a relief for maybe like a month or two or very competitive to just relax, play games and having fun.
Yeah.
So that's what was missing in my life.
Just in enjoying
then-
the experience of playing through the game and experiencing all that it has to offer. Yeah.
But now it's another story. I'm just playing for fast to get points. So it's another story. It's another.
You got your eyes on the
Full
prize.
circle.
Yeah, you got your eyes on the prize, right? Yeah, that is so
Man.
cool.
But like the amount of friend I got and the amount of stuff I did, I mean, it's just blew my mind. I mean, I would never see this like maybe 2 to 3 years from now. So
Yeah.
it's very fun.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. Very cool. All right. So yeah, so you're talking about the GameCube stuff, which is really awesome. Do you have any? What would be a set you would want to? What would be your first set? Let's put it that way. That you would want to play on GameCube.
So for that, one of my goal when we can have GameCube, master every single set in GameCube.
The whole
That's
library.
The entire library.
Wow.
I'm gonna try it. It's gonna take time. I'm gonna
Yeah.
try it, but that would be my mainly goal.
Oh wow.
The first game I want to play is probably rather Mario Golf or maybe some of the Mario parties.
The Mario
Like,
parties. Okay.
Yeah, I like all the Mario there, so just choose one between of them. It's just gonna take it for me. But I mean, I love all the Mario games. They're fantastic. Like even the Paper Mario is so great.
Oh, Mario's. I'm a big fan of Mario myself too. 'Cause I was kind of wondering if you were going to say Mario Sunshine or or one of the Paper Marios or something like that. Well, of course, the
It's hard
Paper
to
Marios
choose.
are probably a little bit too long considering what you're going for since they're RPG.
Yeah, but
style
since
games.
my main focus would be maybe trying to master every single game on GameCube, I have a good reason to just.
So you
take
would
the
shift
time.
your focus for the GameCube since that being
Yeah.
your favorite system. I think you've told me before that. Yeah, very cool.
That's awesome. That's a big chunk of bread to rip off there.
That's a big
That'll
goal.
be fun.
Yeah, that's a
That'll
big
be
goal.
People
fun.
told me like they have Mega Man there. I'm like, are you serious? Mega Man and GameCube? I'm like, oh no.
Okay, every game but one.
Right. I love
Damn it, too
GameCube.
Oh,
I thought
GameCube's
GameCube
great,
was
yeah.
a real
Yeah.
sleeper.
Yeah.
I don't like Zelda game, but like the Zelda like Twilight Princess is actually the first Zelda game I was able to finish and just be addicted to Zelda. That's
Oh,
the
wow.
only one. So
Which one came? Was that was Wind Waker's, right? That was on GameCube to start.
Uh,
Wind
yeah,
Waker was on
Twilight
GameCube.
Princess too.
Yeah, and Twilight
Oh, that's
Princess. Yeah.
I got Twilight. I think I got that for the Wii because that had just come out and they released
Yeah.
Twilight Princess.
Yeah,
for the
see, I
Wii.
think Twilight came out right when the Wii came out, so I think it was on
Yeah.
both systems. Yeah.
that's
That's
just a beautiful game. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just impressed how the game is just good.
I've
I-
not
you know,
played that one. I need to play that one.
people talk. I mean, if we're talking about Wind Wakers, I know a lot of people don't like the cell shading art style of those games.
Mhm.
I thought Wind Wakers was gorgeous. I like the
like
cell
it.
shading. I think it's and it simplifies things so that it makes it easier to, I guess, run on that system. And it looked great.
It's
I
gorgeous.
was just enthralled. I just would float around the ocean for hours just looking at all the backdrops and everything. And
I
It's a
just like the
great game.
cartoonish.
Yeah.
Everything is cartoonish on a game. It's just the taste I have. So this is what
That's
I
awesome.
like. You compare this to Resident Evil. For me, it's just scary game. I just hate. Oh yeah. Ugh. I don't like the Resident Evil.
You
It's
don't
just
like
so
that. You
big.
like more of the family-oriented kind of cartoony style graphics, which
Yeah.
I understand that for sure. Yeah, yeah. I like both, but I really do love, like Chard was talking about, the cel-shaded look of Wind Waker. It was just. But the funny thing about it is when that game came out, everybody hated it. Everybody hated the look of it. Everybody said that is just stupid because there was that demo that came out before it released, if you remember, where they were drawing a realistic looking Link. I forget what he was fighting, but yeah. And then they came out with that and everybody was like, what the heck is this? And I didn't buy it because I was like, I'm buying that. That looks stupid. And then I played it years later and I was like, oh my God, this is such an amazing game. And the graphics grow on you within like 5 minutes. and
Yeah.
you realized that it was incredible.
I think I really enjoyed that part, but I think the part which I never know how it worked. It was the swim, but not the swimming, but the boat. I mean, I don't, for me, like traveling through, maybe that the part I don't really like about that Zelda
The
particularly.
sailing, yeah.
Yeah, but I think I was sailing without even activate the stuff on my boat. So I was like actually like very slowly paced there.
Out there with a rowboat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
That's
when they
fun.
re-released it, I think they had a lot of that. They had some other fast travel system, or they made the boat go faster or something. If I remember people
Yeah.
talking about that. Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
I haven't played Wind Waker since it came out in like 2001 or 2 or something like that. That was
Okay.
the last time I beat it on GameCube, and then I haven't seen it since. But
Oh wow,
I loved playing it when I had it.
it was great. Yeah, I played it a couple of years ago, and yeah, it was fantastic.
I'm a big fan of Metroid too. The first person shooter that they did with Metroid, the Prime stuff.
Prime.
That
What-
was a good one.
What do you think about the Prime stuff? I mean, taking the Metroidvanian, which is the birth of all Metroidvanians, and then turning it into a first person shooter for the GameCube. What was your opinion on that? How'd you feel of that?
I don't think I have beaten the game myself, but I have played and I really enjoy it, like how it is. Like it's very interesting it's almost like look like the Halo style, like you're just shooting, having fun. That was very fun, but I was very confused because that's not like I was trying to understand the game, but I never have. I mean, I never buy the game. I was just like always like trying to maybe purchase the game into like a local store to get like the game like
Okay.
maybe one day or two. So I
Mhm.
did try it, but I was not like fully into it. But that was a very well done game.
Cool. Good answer. Good answer. Good answer. So what do you think about? I guess we're sticking on GameCube. What about Sonic on the GameCube?
Sonic,
Okay.
amazing.
Yeah.
Sonic
Okay.
Adventure 2, I spent too much time on that.
Yeah.
I mean, I was training with my friend. The little
It's a great game.
chaos.
I got it. Yeah.
It's so great. I mean, I did a little bit of speedrun of it, but like very late.
Uh-huh.
But beside that, the game. I mean, how can you do not like that one? I think DX maybe not because DX was like maybe not the one I really like. I feel it was. Yeah, I didn't really like the DX one. I don't know why, but I mean, the Sonic Adventure 2 was just too beautiful. I mean, you
Mhm.
have everything there. Missions, well done. I mean,
Yeah,
how can I
fantastic
say
game.
better
Yeah.
than that?
Very cool.
I have,
Very
yeah, I
cool.
have a confession. I haven't touched a Sonic game since Sonic and Knuckles / Sonic Spinball.
Oh wow.
You
So
should.
Yeah.
yeah,
Since
I haven't.
Genesis days.
I think-
Wow.
I think since Nintendo scooped them up, I just was like,
Yeah, because you were a Genesis kid, right? You had a Genesis.
I
remember you
was,
telling
and
me a
it,
story
not
about that.
not
yeah.
because I wanted to be, but because that's what I had.
Right.
So, because listen, I mean,
Yeah, because you're the RPG
Yeah.
guy, but you were a Genesis guy. Yeah.
I like my Super Nintendo, but
Yeah.
I did grow up a Genesis kid.
I
Hard Knock
never
Life.
have a Genesis. I was just
Yeah.
always a Nintendo fan since day one. I think
Yeah.
like when my dad bought me or just like I saw him play video game. I think he played like Super Mario World. I think the first game I played, and I was just since that I was just a Nintendo fan guy, yeah. And then one other console I really want to see, which I never really played much, was Dreamcast. I think Dreamcast have a lot of potentials to having awesome games, but I never really like be too much into it.
Yeah,
Right.
Dreamcast is really an awesome looking system. It's one of those other ones that I think a lot of people overlooked back in the day probably because of what happened with the Saturn and everything, and then everybody knew PS2 was on the horizon. But I think that's another one of those systems that it has quite a big following, and a lot of people really love that system. But I think it was one of those kind of that went under the radar, underrated systems. I would love to get my hands on one.
Didn't the Dreamcast wasn't? Correct me if I'm wrong. It's either Dreamcast or Saturn that was poorly promoted in the States. One of those two. So over there it was like pretty popular, but we just never got like the full glory of what either the Dreamcast or the Saturn was. And I think that's kind of where Genesis, or not Genesis, but Sega
Yeah.
kind of started to dip. And then PlayStation came up and Sony was like, screw all you guys, we got this. And then Microsoft came in and we're like, well, all the stuff we used to love as kids is all gone now. So
Right.
you got to move with the times, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what it was. Yeah, it was Dreamcast.
It was a Dreamcast. Yeah. I think we had a viewer question. I don't know if we want to go ahead and just run.
We got two. I put them both up in the crew chat.
Oh, did you? Okay, so we can save those for later. Okay, very cool, very cool, very cool.
So we already know your absolute love of the GameCube, and you had mentioned being a Nintendo kid, but what would be your second like favorite console to play on, or game series from that console that you'd like? Like what? If GameCube, since GameCubes don't have sets, right? We don't have any GameCube sets just yet. What console do you usually gravitate to play whatever game you're going to play on?
I think a Super Nintendo would be my second one. It's either that or Wii, but Super Nintendo, yeah. I think
I don't have the shirt, but Super Nintendo too. Yeah.
Super Nintendo is like it's like, how can you do not love this console? Like, a lot of the game are very well made, and I'm very a fan where music is great and where the appealing of the game it look like. And like SMW, like Link to the Past, a lot of Mega Mans, and a lot of the stuff are very well made. And it just blew my mind how this console have like all the asset or all the base stuff as we know today.
Yeah,
right. It's amazing how well those systems have kind of held up even now.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe it's because I'm inundated with the retro community, and maybe they haven't. But my personal opinion is like I would still almost want to play something off the Super Nintendo over a PS5 game. You know, maybe because it's easier to get to or whatever. But there's so much more nostalgia, like you said, with music and the characters and everything. Aside from Sonic, which I grew up playing a ton as a kid, nothing that I replay on Genesis has the nostalgia factor that anything I played on Super Nintendo has. And I don't know why. Like I said, I didn't have a Super Nintendo. My friend did. And we'd go back and I'd hang out with her and we'd play the games together. But when I booted them up, like here in my almost 40s, it still hits me like, holy shit, it's been years since I've even touched it. And Genesis just never did that for me. I don't know why. I could play my favorite Cyborg Justice game and it just wouldn't have the same feeling that Final Fantasy IV, for example, would have that I had out of that.
I mean, that's very true, because like I'm just like, for me, like I'm stick with my Super Mario World. I mean, it's just like this game is like very old, but today it's still looking great. And how people have touched this vanilla game into other new games, it's just interesting to see how to revisit the old same game over and over.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how can you just do not love this when you just play it again and you just like it? I mean, it's the same way as other game. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah, there's a certain kind of Nintendo magic that was in those systems. You know, I probably still exists, I would say. I kind of fell off after GameCube, but yeah, they just have it's almost like they're the Disney of the video game systems, right? There's just this certain feel that they have about them that no other console maker has managed to replicate. Even though I'm a big PlayStation, Sony fan, there's just something about those Nintendo games that's just different. That's just Nintendo, right? So.
But in honesty, Bud, you can think of it this way. The stuff that you have a nostalgia for, mostly, originated off of the Super Nintendo or Nintendo systems previously, and then that title just came over to Sony.
Yeah.
Talking about Final Fantasy, of course, because Captain Dark's not here to defend himself on Final Fantasy.
Well, I'm talking about the PlayStation and the Super Nintendo.
If you want to.
Yes. But yeah, Sony actually made. Yeah. But I was just saying, Sony actually made the sound chip that's in that Nintendo. We were in that Super Nintendo. We were talking about the music earlier, and then they kind of I'm not going to get into the whole history of it, but there was kind of that falling out, and that's how we ended up with PlayStation, which we're kind of lucky that it worked out that way, because now we got Nintendo and we got Sony
and PlayStation,
and PlayStation, right? Which my two favorite console makers, right there. So very cool, very cool. All right, cool. So, what do you got on the horizon going forward, Draco, on your stream, Chivo wise? How far out do you plan that?
Well, for now, let's say I need to get maybe like 500 points before getting my new ranks, and after that, I would try to maybe push for a 5k lead or 3k lead, and then after that, it would be like every single game which I won, like I have the better ratio on. I'm gonna just visit them, badge them, take my time, and just enjoy, and just have it like almost like a big breathe, because that's what I need, and I need to breathe after
You
like
gotta have
a
a
long.
breather. Yeah, yeah. It can take a lot out of you going, going for badges the way we do it even can take a lot out of you, especially when you're working on something that's very difficult. So, I mean, even after getting one, I can see myself needing to take a breather. But hitting it the way you're hitting it, yeah, I imagine there's probably times where you just kind of feel like, I just need to just escape from it for, maybe a short period of time before we get back to it. That way you can come back at it fresh.
Yeah, but beside that, I don't have like anything much new I want to do. I mean, I'm just casually like to play, and then I just when I'm gonna take a break and just
Yeah.
having fun. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what I can do.
And it sounds like you're enjoying the
awesome.
process too, which is really what it's
Oh,
all
of
about.
course.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I enjoy like I think like doing. I mean, I have like a lot of fun doing with my friend Shuzi into the podcast. I mean, I really like having like some moments like where we just hang out in Discord, talk each other, having fun, playing some video games, getting some rank, help each others, and we just have like a little strategy together where we're just like, oh, this is good,
Yeah.
oh, this is bad, this is good, and we just go for that.
Nice. Yeah,
That's
you guys
awesome.
are pretty tight too. I've seen a couple of your streams where I was watching the VOD, and I think it was you, Shootsy. It might have been Bendy, Human, or was it King Sizzle? It might have been all of you. You guys were doing some kind of randomizer where you were playing a game, and then it would shoot to another game, and then you would have to play
So,
that.
Yeah.
Can you explain how that works? Because I didn't really,
Sure.
didn't really understand it fully.
Right now we have maybe 5 stream into it. Right now, King Sizzle, Bendy, and myself, and Sting X2, we actually doing which is called a swap mania. So pretty much is we have 30 game each, because I have like I have choose 6 game. Bendy have choose 6 game, and vice versa. We have 30 game in the poll, where it's a big poll. We have 5 seconds to 5 minutes. We don't know how much it will long. So you load that, and then you start with example marker 64. After 10 seconds it's gone. You put that away, and it creates a save state for marker 64, where you just like stop. And it's load Super Mario World. Oh, you play Super Mario, and then you just jump or you just fly, and then boom, it's Castlevania 4, and you just like, oh no, you die, and then you restart.
So
my God.
It's doing save states in between. So I guess it kind of cycles through. So you may be like, you make a jump on Mario. Let's just use that for an example. Does it like save like mid jump or something? Then
it's saved there. It's saved there.
Yeah. So when you come back to it, you save you're on the landing, the bottom arc of that jump, and then you have to continue on from there after you were just playing, I don't know, Burger Time or something,
Sometimes like I have we have Vectorman into exactly in the poll, and I really don't like Vectorman. I try it, but
that's
I
a
don't
hard
really
game.
try enough. And then I just put maybe like I just wait.
Yeah.
And then it's swapping to Mario. Like I'm panicking because I missed my input because I was flying, and then I'm just falling down, and then something bad happened, and you're like, oh, I guess it's something bad.
Oh, wow, that is chaotic and crazy. I bet that's a blast.
That sounds fun.
And the goal for this is like we need to beat 6 games. So actually, it's gonna be pretty hard to beat 6 games. But if we beat 1 game, we can choose to toss one. So if I don't really want to play Vectorman, I just say like, okay, this one it's out. I'm just putting like complete done, and then you continue. But right now, I'm almost done with Mario Kart, Diddy Kong Racing, and other game. But Super Mario World is pretty cool. We have like some gold into each one, and you try to reach the goal.
So you could go through this on multiple sessions. Like you could pick up the next day even on it. You don't have to just go through one sitting. Okay.
Because every game is saved by save states.
By the save states.
Yeah.
Wow, that sounds crazy.
That's really crazy. And you can choose any game you want to. If you want a new game added, you can pick. Oh, let's pick Chrono Trigger. You put it there if you want to. Pick Final Fantasy. You put it there. You put everything you want in any console you want, and that will do for you. But of course, we try to have a little goal there, because we're not going to do like 100% of one game, because it's pretty damn long. But it's a ton of fun. I mean, you play your controller, you have a lot of emotion going through, and you just try to focus, and then it's 2gen, it's 2gen. Like we have that.
Yeah.
But some games you're better at, older games, but it's very fun to see how the chaos could be.
Yeah, I bet.
How long are the segments between the transitions? Like
5 seconds or 5 minutes.
What? So it's
anywhere, but
randomized.
it's randomized.
It's randomized.
Oh, that's so cool.
Dude. You'd be
I
like,
have
you
a
could
moment
really
when-
get in the zone within a 5-minute segment,
Oh.
and then it switch it to something else, and then 5 minutes
rips
later,
you right
5
out of
seconds
it.
later,
Oh
it's
my
something
gosh,
else.
That's sick.
And, oh,
I got
dude.
one moment was very fun was I was playing Sonic 3 at the Edge God. I was like, if it would be very funny if I have like Donkey Kong or something. I was just thinking about Donkey Kong for 2 seconds, and guess what? Psst, swap Donkey Kong was right there. I was like, go away, Donkey Kong, and then back
Got
to
this
Sonic 3. I was like,
premonition.
what?
Yeah. Oh, wow.
I was
That's
like,
sick.
okay.
Oh, so it does. You don't.
Wow.
Yeah, you don't even necessarily know what game it's going to switch to. It
Nope,
could
you
switch
don't
you
know.
to
It's-
another
it's a
game and then back to
random,
the game you
yeah.
were on before. Oh, wow.
Oh, it'll
is-
go back? Like, does it go? So we'll go back to a game that you might have previously
it could,
played?
or it could not. It's
That's-
So it's
a
complete
one chance
RNG
out of
madness. This is how it selects these games. It's just-
3. Yeah.
That sounds incredibly fun.
yeah,
Like, it
that
really
sounds
a lot
like
of fun.
something you have a few beers with a few friends and just laugh your
I mean,
ass off all
if
night.
you want to do
Yeah.
it with us, like another time, you actually can. I mean, we,
Oh, I'm
we
down.
want to do it.
I'd fucking be all over that.
Yeah, I'm down.
That sounds-
Yeah, hell yeah. Let
I
me
would
know.
be
Yeah.
raging so hard.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
I think the next time we want to do it is we want to put like all the viewers we have, and it's like you choose all the games, but if you choose like let's say like Link to the Past, we'll say like maybe beat the second boss or beat this like a little goal, because like I said, like otherwise it would be too much chaos or too much long depend on the game. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna let the viewer choose. I think the next time.
Awesome, dude. Yeah, I'm definitely down for that. That sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah.
It is.
Absolutely.
Oh, it
Absolutely.
is. And you play that with friends, so it's another way to enjoy something without achievements, sadly. But
Yeah, I mean, achievements are. I mean, I could enjoy a game without achievements. I guess.
Oh, yeah.
I guess.
I mean,
I
it's
guess.
weird for me. It's very weird.
I mean, I don't like it, but I will. Yeah. Yeah, Chardy's
Yeah.
been playing Lunar 2, right? Is that the one?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it doesn't have
No
the-
achievements in
no
Lunar
set.
2, but Gal has been giving me achievement ideas. So when we're playing through it, he's like, "Hey, I have an idea for an achievement here. Let's try it out."
Oh, he
So I'm
made
like,
he
oh,
made threads
okay.
making a whole set for those games.
Yeah.
He's
And we've
for
been
each game.
testing.
They're in the Discord or in the forum. I can't remember what for RA. Yeah.
We've been testing them like every opportunity that comes up
Yeah.
in the game. He's
But
like, "Let's give this a
maybe-
try."
Yeah, he's something
Maybe you
else.
can learn how to dev if you want to.
Oh, Gal would just rip through games with all kinds of crazy
Oh, yeah.
achievements. He would
Yeah.
be a superstar at that.
I don't know if
think,
he's
we
interested
wanted
in
to.
doing that. He said he likes making the achievements up, and he puts them in the like in the RA forum for. He's hoping like a dev will see it, and he's like, "Here, you can use all these." You know, he's like, "Here's my ideas.
Yeah,
if a
right.
dev wants to do it, please do it," kind of thing.
Deving is a lot of work. I have dev maybe a couple of games, but it's very a lot of work. Like
What's
finding
the process
logic,
like?
Doing this, doing
File
that.
logic. Okay, yeah. There's
You find,
programming
you
involved.
need to like you play the game, you find the memory addresses where they are. After that, you need to write the text, but you need to make the logic. For example, like if you're into a Super Mario world, you say you're into that stage. If you click that or collect that, you trigger this or this. So you have to make a big logical stuff. Maybe
Yeah.
like sometimes depending on
A lot of
other-
if this then that kind of stuff, which is
Yeah.
way above my head. I don't know how to program, but yeah, that kind of thing.
it's a lot of work. It's
Mhm.
just
Yeah.
it's just crazy.
Yeah,
It's flow charts all over Gal's walls.
yeah, it's
like
programming.
pasted.
Yeah, there's programming for sure. Yeah, that's quiet. That's
Lovely.
crazy. That's awesome though. It's really cool to me that people are dedicated enough and willing to devote their time to doing something like that, just to help the community at large. It really shows a level of love and appreciation for these games, and just that community aspect is really one of the things that really has drawn me towards and deeper into retro achievements. Yeah, it's really cool.
Like right now, like the amount of set is like put in like almost like every single day we have set, and it's so hard to just maintain with and playing everything. Like you don't have like I think just 1 month of work is like almost like a year of gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
Like
That's
it's crazy how many set like it's going through like retro achievement. It's crazy.
Yeah, I imagine it would have to take a long time to get through one for sure. Do they ever have? Is it usually a single person operation, or do they ever have more than one person that would collaborate on creating a set?
I think it's depend. Like who want to do the set. Like if example like me and Chard want to do a set, we could just do it and doing together the set.
Just
Some people just
figure it out
like to work together,
Yeah.
together or alone. So
Interesting.
I don't know the first thing about programming, but I'm a hell of a tester.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now.
I mean, testing is a good thing too.
Testing,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, we could test for sure. Absolutely.
Heck yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I
Awesome.
it's such a labor of love to spend that amount of time on making achievements for people like, like us
Yeah.
that just want to make the game just a little bit more challenging, and to have all those people to spend their personal time to put these together, and like nobody's getting anything out of it except for the pride that
yeah.
this person's going to play the game that I play.
Yeah.
It's huge. It's so big.
Yeah.
That's really neat.
Yeah.
I mean, when I did my first hack of Mario and I saw Max play it, maybe on the first day release, I was just so happy to play. And I was like, at the end of the day, I really hate my set because of the game I was playing because I spent too much time on it. But seeing him almost like a little bit suffer through some bosses, like, oh, it feels so good.
Right.
It just feels so good.
Because it was a good. It was presenting a challenge to him, and yeah,
Yeah.
Exactly,
absolutely,
yeah.
very cool.
That's
That would be
cool.
very rewarding, I would think. Yeah, absolutely,
That's
very cool, very cool.
well. We do have a couple viewer questions.
Yeah, I was
Do
about to
want
say that
jump
if you
into
had any
those?
other questions, now we can hop on to the viewer questions. You want to go ahead and read them, Charlie?
Yeah, I'll read the first one. Lumpy McGumby has put in some channel points and has asked, I have a modded GameCube with Swiss and a network adapter. Do you guys think it would be possible to connect real GameCube hardware to RA when they start releasing sets? It seems it could be possible, especially if RA got put into Swiss.
That's a very good question, which maybe I don't have the answer, sadly.
Yeah.
I know, like, maybe if we have GameCube, it would probably like run by Dolphin, like the
Yeah.
emulator by
Yeah.
itself. But beside that, I'm sorry, I have actually no
Yeah.
answer about that.
Yeah, I don't have
It
an
could be
answer.
possible,
Yeah, but the way I see it is they use emulation, and when you download from Retro Achievements, their emulators, their versions of those emulators. When you're talking about the standalone ones, anyway, of course, you have RetroArch, which has it built in, already with LibRetro and everything, which is my preferred way to do it. But yeah, there would have to be software built into the hardware that would be able to I don't know the words, but to make the secret sauce work, basically.
Right.
Yeah, and there would have to be, connections, network connections and things like that for it to talk back to home and things like that. But I would love to see something like that. That would be really awesome.
Yeah, me
think-
too. But I have no.
But I don't think any
Yeah,
one of us, I don't think any one of us is going to be the person to answer that anyway.
No.
None of us know.
No, I think if
Yeah.
anything, real hardware RA sets are probably still quite a ways out.
Yeah.
With the ability to use the emulation, it's
Yeah.
obviously quite simpler and quicker to do.
I think it
with
would be
all that other
really
stuff.
cool if it could be done, and I would be totally on board for it. But I don't.
Oh, me too. But I
yeah.
think just like the fact having like you take like I mean it's one person, pretty much one person who just putting everything into
Mhm.
like example the Super
Yeah.
Nintendo emulators or stuff. It's just constantly making patch. It's a lot of work by
Yeah.
one person to doing hashes everything. So
Yeah.
it could be done, but it's a lot of work.
Yeah, you might maybe even check out the Retro Achievements Discord. Maybe somebody's asked that question there. That might be some place to look as a resource. And they got a forum on the website, retroachievements.org. That way you could, I think the developers and the people who are really in charge and really work within RA, have they check that regularly, as far as I know.
Yeah, you can just ask the place for help me or something. They have
Right.
your question, and they would be fairly a lot of people to just answer that question.
Yeah.
So don't worry about it.
Yeah, they got a great community over there on their Discord.
Yeah. RA Discord is phenomenal about responding to you and getting back to you quickly and timely.
Mhm.
Nobody ignores anything.
No.
Anything that I've ever had a problem with, they've been on it like super quick. So that's the best place to go and get your answers for.
Very cool. Very cool. All right, cool.
Two more questions.
Sure.
Von Beardley was asking, who are your favorite set creators on RA?
Good question.
Oh, that's tough. Oh, that's so tough. I think I would say probably MGN again. That one because MGN is the first person I play set on. Two, I am more friendly with this person, and I know every time he create a set, he is so creative. Like he put like so many like just I think I saw like a Mist set. I mean Shuji was talking about Mist, and the game is very quick and very simple and very
Mhm.
fast. But the amount of work to just try to find a way or original way to create an achievement, this person have it. He create like so many achievements very creatively, and everything he put there, it's just beautiful work. So
Wow,
for me,
really
that's
cool.
one of my favorite person to play something
Very
on.
cool. Very cool. A
Are
lot
we
of respect
talking
for the devs.
Mist, the point and click one, like
Yeah.
the old
Like the
school,
old
like
school Mist and Riven and all
wow.
that.
Just
Yeah.
if you want to
Eh?
see his work, just like try to the set, and you will see it's a blast. I never played the set, but I know like Shuzi really enjoy that set
Okay.
because it was just so creative,
I might check that out. Yeah.
and it was
Yeah,
just
yeah.
unique by its way. So he put a lot of work, and I'm working with him with some stuff, and we test some stuff together. But it's very a very good dev. So it's
Very cool.
like any dev would like put like not like a regular like progression based, but
Mhm.
can put any achievement but into a test or something like oh you can do that with this game. You don't actually know, and you put like a lot of that. It's just a blast to play.
Really cool.
The thought of
Very cool.
half of the stuff they come up with, it still blows my mind. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
some things are simple, complete
Yeah.
stages, beat bosses, this,
Yeah.
that. But then programming in like a certain aspect, like beat Lavos with a mop. Like,
Yeah. Which we
I
just
mean,
did
who-
yesterday. Yeah.
It's just some of the, I
Yeah.
mean, it's not as creative as what I could pull out of my head, of course,
Yeah.
but it's still like, who would think of
As a
doing
fun,
that? No
yeah,
one would
as a
think
fun
of doing
Chivo to
that.
do though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
I
impressive.
just love the fact like I said many times, like I just love how you can surprise me into a game you never know. Like that exists on that game. Oh my god, really?
Yeah.
You don't know. It's a little
That's-
secret. Like for me,
yeah.
like the mushroom houses on SMB3, it's a good example. The
Yeah.
white mushrooms. I never know it was existing into that game. You just need to
That
trigger some
is-
coin, and then you have it.
That
Yeah,
has
no.
always been one of my things that I really have loved about retro achievements is doing that, is the aspect of doing everything there is to do in a game, or at least doing everything that somebody that has really gone through the game with a fine-tooth comb can come up with for you to do in the game. It really causes you to learn a lot of things you never knew before, or maybe do things that you maybe have done rarely or would have never thought of. It's really, I know, it's really cool. You get to really experience the games at a depth that you would normally never do.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I enjoy the most.
Yeah, that's so
And
great.
I encourage a lot of people doing that way because this is how you get some sparkle in your eyes,
Yeah.
and you love the set and the work of the person do.
Yeah.
So
Right.
Yeah, and there's been times I've done the set on RA and be like, well, because we talked about versus being a speedrunner where you just power through the game as quick as you can and you end up missing out on a lot of stuff. But I think RA could even be a good segue into that. You talked about building your skill set, like with me, with the Castlevania 4, getting that achievement really vastly improved my skill set at the game to the point where I think I could potentially speedrun it even. So it could even be an introduction into something like that. And then, I mean, how much more in depth can you experience a game then to get the badge and to learn the speedrun?
I'm pretty sure now you're more likely familiar with this genre. You can actually do another Castlevania and maybe cruise through it and very more easily because you know the pattern, you know this, you know that. So
the skill set translates. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, very cool.
I can contest to that with Symphony of the Night when you do the Alucard run, not the Alucard, the Richter run at the end. I was working on trying to find the path to fight all the bosses and get it done, and then I did it so often that I was starting to like, how fast can I do this? So I can do this in 2.5 hours. Let's see if we can get it down to 2 hours. And then it just turned into this vicious circle of, I think I can get her to it. I think I finished at 1 hour and 45 minutes. And I was like, okay, that's good enough. Let's move on to something else.
Very
End up burning myself out on it. So
right,
we
looks
got
like we
one
got
more question for you
looks like
from
we
Von
got,
Beardley.
Actually, we got more than that, but go ahead.
Oh, do we? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Lee
Perfect.
posted one from Lumbee. So go ahead with the one you were reading, though, and I'll get the
Okay.
Lumbee one.
Perfect. You don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but I'm going to ask it just to be whatever. But Vaughn wants to know any inside scoop on when they are planning to start bringing in PS2 sets. And if you want that to be kind of like, you'll find out when you find out, feel free to answer that way, unless you do know something and you want to say anything.
honestly, I don't know anything about future release on any set or any kind of stuff. The only thing I can say is, of course, I know it's not a big meme, but I know it's coming. When V2 is coming, the first thing we're gonna saw is V2, and after that will probably be new console. So
Okay, cool.
don't have any hope until V2 is not there.
All right,
That's pretty
so
much
pretty
my
much wait for V2. Yeah. The PlayStation 2 emulation, at least through RetroArch, at least the few times I've tried, it's been very buggy, and it really, it's not really at a playable state, at least not from my limited experimentation I've done with it.
But
which I would
if
love
I
to see
can
it, though.
answer
Yeah.
more your question,
Oh.
I think the three console would after V2 obviously would be rather GameCube, Dreamcast, or PSP. This is the only console I think people speculate would be close to be there, or maybe already done. I don't know. I have no ideas. Like I said, like I'm into staff, but I don't know like all the detail by anything.
Right,
So
right,
I'm
yeah.
just speculating that would be the three console, probably the closest to be after V2.
All
Obviously.
great additions.
Right,
For
right.
sure. All
Absolutely.
Great additions. Yeah. Okay, very cool.
Any way to expand the library, I'm 100%.
Yeah,
on board.
exactly. The more,
Oh,
the
yeah, I
more,
already
the
know
what it
merrier.
is.
Yeah, the more, the merrier, as far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned. All right, looks like this might be our last one from Lumbee McGumby. Let me get that here real quick. He says, "I have modded GameCube with." Wait, I think we did read this one already.
Yeah, that's just the Swiss one. if there's
Okay,
the
it
same
came
one
out.
on
Okay,
here,
so
yeah.
never mind. Then we do not. That was the last one. Then never mind.
Perfect.
Never mind. Very cool. Very cool. So I was going top to bottom. Well, all right. This was a lot of fun talking with Draco. Draco, man, you have been a fantastic guest. I guess we'll go ahead and get it closed out here. Did you have any final words? Anything you'd like to say? Anything you'd like to promote coming up on your stream or otherwise?
Well, I don't really like to promote myself. I mean, obviously, if you like Retro Achievements, like those two beautiful folks over there, you can always follow me if you want into my Twitch, which I always do Retro Achievements. Thank you so much, both of you, to having me here. It's a pleasure to, talking again, because I know we have talked a little bit into my own podcast with Shuzi and Bindi and King Sizzle.
Yeah, and
So
King Sizzle and-
it's
yeah.
fun to talk to you, both of you again. Thank you so much for the opportunity to just be here. If you want to invite me back, I will be always there.
Oh, I'd love to have you back. Absolutely. No problem with that at all. It's been
Without
absolute
question.
pleasure. Yeah, without question. All right, Charlie, you got any final thoughts?
No, Draco, thanks for coming and hanging out with us, man. I love talking about this stuff with you guys, and I also like the your guys' RA podcast is phenomenal as well. If you haven't heard Draco and Shootsy, Benny Human, King Sizzle do their RA podcast as well, do so. It is phenomenal. They are excellent to listen to. They're a lot of fun to hang out with. Go give that a look and go give that a listen. Find that on YouTube, and it's also on Spotify, just like
It's also
the
into
Budget
the
Game.
website of RA as well.
The Retro
Into
Achievements
Perfect.
website. Yes. Yes.
So go find that, listen to them. They are spectacular and very, very good.
Yes.
Thank you for taking your time out on your Sunday and coming and hanging out and BSing with us about this. We absolutely, and I echo everything Bud said. Anytime you want to come and hang out with us, man, the door is always open.
Absolutely.
The chair is always
there
free.
Just let me know. I'm always there.
Oh, we'll do.
Hey.
We'll do. We want to try to get some of the other
Absolutely.
guys on too, because I like them other guys
Absolutely.
too. Yeah, so we'll be talking to them too. All right, guys. Once again, thank you so much, Chart. Thank you, man, for being awesome as always. Draco, thank you for hanging out, buddy. It was an absolute pleasure. This has been the 8th episode and the coming back of the BCTV podcast. I have
The
really
grand
enjoyed it.
return,
The grand
like a
return.
phoenix
Yeah,
from
that's
the
right,
ashes.
just from the it has been a pleasure. I look forward to our next episode coming up April 11th, if I remember correctly, where we are going to have a special guest, Frank from I said from Pulse XP, Frank, aka Pulse XP, one of our other good friends, another Retro Achievement streamer. Guys, it has been a pleasure, and thank you once again. Everybody out there, have a great evening, and we'll see you again real soon.